Let's have a quick recap what we have discussed in the last session. In the last session, we have discussed about how we can create our AWS account and how we can create our Windows EC2. This is the first service we have started in our last session. With the continuation of the same service, today we are going to learn about how we can create an Linux EC2. But before starting off this particular topic, if anyone have any question, whatever we have discussed till now, if you have any question, you can please raise your hand. Yes, Selva.
Hi, Ankit. Good morning. Are you able to
Good morning. Yes, Selva, I'm able to hear you. You can ask your question.
Yeah, actually, I watched your class, means the last two recording class, and I tried to create a AWS account. I was able successfully. I did login, means I paid 2 rupees, and even the 2 rupees has reversed as well.
Okay.
I logged into account, but I couldn't see the exact screen that no recently visited. That kind of page I couldn't see. Instead of that, it is asking me either sign into console or another one it asked.
Whenever you are after creation of your account, when you're trying to log, that time you're getting some error, Mr. Silva?
No error messages. Yeah, I reached the page select role. That page also I reached. Simply I selected some role, learning and development, something like that. And role I selected, I submitted.
Okay.
Then post that, it was in AWS page only. But right side in top corner, it was asking either sign into console or another one was showing. Just I'm checking.
Whenever you want to log in it first, Silva, you have to go to that particular link. Let me share that link with you. But you can go directly to aws.amazon.com. You can go there and then you can go to sign in. If you are able to sign into the console, then you can provide your email ID and password, the email ID and password which you have given there. No need to do anything much here, Silva. Is it clear?
Yeah. Whatever you are showing in the screen, the same it is asking. It is asking me root user.
Root user email ID. So just enter your email ID and give your password, whatever the password you have given there. Okay. And then it will get login.
Yeah, here I was a little bit confused.
Just enter email ID and after that give your password. Okay. Here you are able to log in.
Yeah, I'm trying now.
Okay. Anyone have any more questions? Okay. Yes, Pramod. Pramod, you have raised your hand.
Are you audible now?
Yes, Pramod.
Yeah, actually I'm using Mac. Okay, so there I need to which operating system I'll connect. If I'll select window, it will work because sometime I will be other system, Windows system I can use.
I didn't understand your question. You said that you are using Windows Mac operating system, and
Mac,
which operating system you want?
No, means sometime I will use Mac and sometime I will use Windows. So if I'll select Mac, so I can use
in real time. In real time, we are not using Mac operating system. In real time, we are using Windows operating system. So practice, you can done your practice on your Windows operating system.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll start with our other today's topic where we are going to discuss about how we can create our Linux EC2 machine. In our previous session, we have already learned about how we can create a Windows EC2 machine. With the same process, we are going to learn about how we can create our Linux EC2 machine. So go to EC2 machine, service, and click on instance. We don't have any instance right now. The reason is because in the last session, the instance we have created, after that we have terminated that. Click on launch instance. After click on launch instance, is asking for name and tags. So we have to enter our name. The process is same. Whatever we have done in our Windows one, the same process we have to here also. So I'm just giving it Linux. This is the name I'm giving. Scroll down. Now here we have to select EMI. We have already discussed in previous session, EMI means operating system. And by default, it is taking it Amazon Linux operating system. So we can go for this one also. And even in Linux one, we have some other operating systems also, Ubuntu, Red Hat, Sushi. So we have multiple operating systems from their side also. Which one I'm going? I'm going to use Amazon Linux. And here also we are using TTL. We have already discussed in previous session, whenever we want to create any server, whenever we want to purchase any computer, we need 4 things: CPU, RAM, hard disk, and operating system. Operating system, we have already selected Amazon Linux. Now we need to select RAM and CPU. How we can select RAM and CPU? By selecting our instance type. And which instance we are selecting? The name called T2 micro, because T2 micro is coming under TTR. And in this, how much CPU we are getting? 1. How much RAM we are getting? 1. So we have selected our CPU and RAM. Scroll down. Now here we need to give keep here like a password to us. Can I use an existing key pair which I have created for my Windows machine previous session? Yes, I can select that. I can select that also. But I'm not going to select this one. I'm going to create a new one here. So what's the name I'm giving it? This is the name I'm giving. Click on create new. Give the name of our key pair. Scroll down, create key. Here we are getting our system is downloading. We have saved our PAM file in our. Scroll down. Here we are not going to do any change. Now we need to select security. We need to select existing security group, or we can create a new one. If you remember it in previous session, we have discussed it. Whenever we want to connect our Windows machine, we need to enable one port number called RD. Same way, whenever we want to connect our Linux machine, we need to enable a port number called SSH. And we have discussed it for RDP, the port number is 3389. Anyone knows what is the port number for SSH? You can confirm in the chat box. Send me your answer in the chat box, guys. Correct. So whatever the answer I'm getting, the correct answer is 22 is the correct port number for SSH. Now, In previous session, when we have selected Windows machine, by default, they have enabled RDP port number. In this also, they have by default enabled SSH port. Now, in previous session, we have given the default name of our security group. Is it a correct way? No. In real time also, we are not using the default name of our security group. We are always giving our own name. So it will be easy for us to identify that security group is for which. So here I'm giving this name to myself. And how can I give? Is there any option to give a name? No. Scroll up, click on, scroll down. Here I'm getting option to give the name of my security. So I'm giving it my name, and by default they have enabled the port number as such, and here I'm getting the port number. And what is its source? We have three sources here: anywhere, custom, my IP. Anywhere means I can connect to this particular machine from any part of the world. Custom means I can specify, mention that particular IP address. So I can connect to this machine only from that IP address. Or the third option is my IP address. So where I can give my own IP address. I'm the person who can only connect to this machine. No other person is able to connect to this. Regarding custom and my IP, we'll see in our upcoming session. Scroll down. In our previous session, when we have created Windows machine, we are getting how much hard disk? By default, we are getting 30 GB of hard disk. And we have already discussed it till 30 GB, it is coming under a free code. More than 30 GB, if you are using it, definitely you'll get us some bill for that. And for Windows machine, they are giving us by default how much free? Only 8 GB. Only 8 GB of quota they are providing to us for Linux. If I want to increase, I can increase, because till 30 GB we have free. By default, they are giving only 8 GB. So we have selected our operating system. We have selected our CPU, RAM, hard disk. Now let's just a quick recap. So we'll see our details, whatever the details we have given, is it correct or not? First of all, we have given the name. Then we have select our EMI instance type, where we have given CPU and RAM. Then keeper is like a password to us. Then we have created our own security group and 8 GB. Then we have advanced details. Regarding advanced details, we learn in our upcoming session. Now, how many machines I want? Here we go. Number of instances, 1. I don't need multiple machines. I just need only one. Here also we can see the AMI we have selected, the instance type, security group. We are creating a new security group. If you are selecting existing security group, it will show us. How much volume we have? One volume with 8. Next, click on launch. So we have launched our Linux EC2 machine. It's just launching a EC2 machine. Our work is completed. No. We need to connect to this machine also. Windows machine we have connected with a tool called remote desktop connection. But this time we need to connect our Linux machine. And to connect to our Linux machine, we need to download some tools from the internet. Which two tools I'm going to download? Putty and Putty. I have already given the link from there you can download, or even if you search on Google, you'll get this link. So we are able to open our website, scroll down. Here I am getting putty.exe. As per your system configuration, just click on that, get download. As per my system, this is the configuration. So I'm going to click. So we have downloaded our putty. Now what is the next tool we need to download? Putty. Scroll down. Here I am. Done. When I just search on Google, here I'm getting the second. This is the same link which I am opening, which is I have mentioned in my PPT also, or just search on Google, you'll get that. Done. So we have downloaded our both the tools. Now I'm just going to paste these tools in my, and both are exe files. Like, let's take example, I need to install Google. What we are doing, we are downloading exe file of our Google Chrome, and we are installing it. These are also exe files. Do I need to install these two files? No. We don't need to install putty and puttygen directly. When I double click on this particular tool, we'll get hooked. We don't need to install these tools. Directly we can run them. Directly we can start working on this particular tool without installing. So the first step we have done, we are able to download our book. Now coming to the next step. Next step is we need to generate APK file using putty. Right now, when I downloaded this particular PEM file, what is the extension of this PEM file? .pem. I need to change, I need to convert this PEM file into APK with the help of tool called putty. So how we can do, please see very carefully, because those are new, they are going to do mistake into that. I don't want you to do mistakes, so please see very carefully. Open puttygen, click on load. When I click on load, this is 102 folder, go to batch 109. Here I'm getting. We are not able to see any file. What's the reason behind? The reason is file extension. Here it is finding only PPK file, but we need to select PEM file here. So what is the step we need to do here? We need to change file type. Select as all. Now we are able to see. Select our PEM file. Done. First, we have click on load and we have load our PEM file. Second step, click on save private. Don't click anywhere. You need to click only on two buttons, load and save private key. Don't click on generate. Don't click on save public key. Don't select any other option, whichever you are getting in below. If you're selecting it, system will generate your key, but that will generate with some wrong. Then when you're trying to connect to that particular machine, you will get an error message. And what error message you will get? Let me show you that message. This error message. The last one, which I so click on save private. Yes. Now give the name of your key, and it can be any name. I'm giving same name as my company. Dot. Does anyone in the training want me to show this again? So I can show that again how to generate a PPK file. If anyone want, you can drop in the chat box. I can show this again because it's a very important steps. Okay, let me show you again. So let me delete this PEM file. I'm deleting. Double click on Puttigen. Done. Click on load. We are in our batch 109 folder, but still we are not able to see our PEM file. So what we need to do, we need to change the extension here from PPK to all. So we are able to see our PEM. Here I'm getting. Select that. Click on open. And then click on save private. First click on load and then click on save private. Click on yes. Give the name of your key, and it can be any name. You can give to that PPK file name. I'm giving same name as my PEM file, so it will be easy for us to rectify that PPK file is for which PEM file. See. Here I'm good. So here we are able to see our PPK. Next step. What is the next step we have to do? So let's go here. Now we need to connect to our machine. Select the EC2 machine. Click on connect. Now when I click on connect, go to SSH client. You can see here we have 4 tabs here. We need to go to which tab? SSH. Note down the host name. Here is the host name. This example is actually our host. And do I need to copy that complete example? No. From here, from where we are able to see EC2 user, that one we have to copy. Now open Putty. Double click on Putty. We are able to open our. After opening of our Putty, here we need to enter our host name or IP. So we need to enter our host. So this is my host name. Copy this host name. Pasting the host. Next step. Attach PPK file with Putty. How we can attach that PPK file with this Putty? Click on this plus button for SSH. Next, click on this plus button for auth. Auth means authentication. And now we are getting 2 options. Credentials and GSS EPAs. Which one you need to go? You need to go to credentials. First, you need to click on plus button for SSH, then plus button for auth, and then click on credentials. So now I'm going to click on credentials. The first option which we are able to see here. Here we have to select our go to my here I'm going. Open open, accept, and you can see here, by default, it has taken our username. Our username is EC2-user. How it has taken automatically? Because the host name which I have used in that our username is already mentioned. And we are able to connect to our machine. This is how we are creating our Linux machine and we are connecting. Let me show you the same steps again, how we are able to. Let me double click on Putty. It is asking for host name. You have already noted down our host name. Click on plus button for SSH. Now click on plus button for auth, and then click on credentials. And here we are getting the option to select our. Then click on. Then we are able to connect to our Linux. Any question anyone have regarding this, you can please raise your hand. And those have sent me the questions in the chat box. That's sorry, not possible for me to read your questions in chat box because I'm getting a lot of very much questions. It's quite difficult. So if whatever the questions have sent me in the chat box, better to raise your hand so I can easily answer your question. Yes, Ronak.
Hey, I have a question. I just follow that process, that walkthrough, but when I pull
I
in
just
the
want to know,
credentials.
sorry to interrupt you. Whenever I'm teaching it on the spot, you are doing practice?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Think confirm
Okay.
next time. Okay?
Okay.
Because
okay, that's
I'll tell you the reason behind.
okay.
The reason is might be you missed any step and you are saying you are getting an error message. Why you are getting
Okay.
error message? Because you are not following the training session right now. So the best
Okay.
practice is first learn it, then watch the video and then practice.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
So you are getting
okay.
error message definitely because you have missed some steps.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
when the session get completed, watch the video again and then do your practice.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That makes
Then
sense.
if you face an issue, you can email me.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm getting a login as it's they asking for credentials is login as, so that's what I had.
So that's my suggestion for you, not to you, for everyone. This is the same suggestion. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Let's
Thanks.
first concentrate on one thing.
Okay.
Okay. Because might be, let's say you have missed some important point, and that might be an interview question, which I'm telling you. It is also possible. Okay.
Okay.
So first consider on one thing, then move forward to
Okay.
other things.
Okay. That makes sense. So.
Okay. Yes, Venkata.
Hey, Ankit, I have a couple of questions for you.
Mhm.
So if I want to the same configuration, right? The same RAM, same CPU, same OS, same hard disk, right? So can I change, suppose if I need with the same configuration, if I require the number of instances 10, 20 or 30, right? Can I simply change that name instead of that one to the 30? So it will, can I get 20 instances or 10 instances, whatever I need?
Now, whenever you want that all instances to be created in one go, if you want all the instances in one go, here you can give
one
number
go.
of instances.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, all instances I need to go one go.
But whatever the instance you are creating it, all will get the same name. Okay, the name you are mentioning, or whatever the details you have selected, the AMI, the instance type, the security group, the keyware, or the hard disk, all are getting the same configuration. All are good.
Okay, so it means it's not recommendable then, right? But usually we can use the different instance name, means that is a virtual host in the cloud, right?
So whatever, then if you want to change the name, you need to do it after that manner.
Sorry, say again. Could you please
If
repeat,
you
Ankit?
if you want to change the name of all instance, that is a manual process.
Okay. Can we do that in
Yeah.
upcoming sessions like that way? Okay.
You can do by yourself. See here, like I want to change the name of this machine.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just come here. Let's say I'll give -1, save.
Okay, even if
And
I do the
done.
one go for 20 machines, I can do edit and change the host name, right? Manually, instance
Yes,
name.
manually
Okay,
you
got
can
you.
do that.
Okay, got you. So yeah, other question for you, right? So this is we are doing the Unix session and using the SSH client to connect, right? So why we
Correct.
are using the PPK, right, instead of the .pem?
Because there is no option to select PEM file if you want to use a tool called putty.
Okay.
With putty, you can't use PEM files. For putty, you need to use PPK file. It is mandatory. It's not option, it's mandatory. But yes, there are some other terminals also we have in the market. Like if I talk about Git bash. In
Yeah,
that
Git
case,
bash,
you
yeah.
don't. In that particular case, you don't need to use PPK. You can use PEM also.
Okay, this is for
Okay.
designed for the party. Okay, got you.
Putty,
Okay,
they
thank
have
you.
defined, yes. And
Okay,
putty
thank
is
you
one
very
of the
much.
is the #1 tool which is used in the real time. Second is
Oh,
Git. The first is putty.
okay, got you.
Okay,
Thank
and
you.
I want my students to be get familiar with those tools which are mostly used in the market. That's why I'm using
Okay.
putty.
Yeah, I really appreciate you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Lokesh.
While instances, we can download the PP file directly. What is the use of downloading the PEM file and then converting to the using
What
putty?
is the use of PEM file? You have seen the use of PEM file.
No, we can directly download the PPK file also. No?
Yes, we can directly download the PPK file also. I'll come to that particular point also in the next topic.
Okay.
But okay, if you want answer, I'll give you answer here also. In real time, in some cases, we need PEM file also.
Okay.
So it's not a good practice to directly download a PPK file from AWS account.
Okay.
In our upcoming session, when we'll come to a service called VPC, and in those cases, we need PEM file also.
Okay.
And which cases, whenever we want to connect from one EC2 machine to another EC2 machine.
Yeah.
At time we need PEM file. So it's not a good practice directly to download a PPK file.
PPK file, okay.
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 Yes, Vasa.
Hi, Sunil. Good morning.
Sorry, can you repeat my name?
Oh, sorry, Ankit. Yeah.
Yes, Vasa.
Yeah, Ankit. I just have a few questions following of our, trainees. PPK file we have generated, no? So as the other person asked, so can we append the names, when we launch 10 instances at one shot directly instead of, going manually and doing all this stuff?
They all will get the same name. Like I have already told that same thing.
No, is there any way that, you can append the name, like, I prefix something or like that? I mean, automatic.
You want to give different names?
Yes.
Automatically, no, not possible.
That is not possible.
Not
Okay.
possible.
And the other question is the conversion, PPK file, you said that, we might need PEN file when we use the other instances. So we have putty, we can generate PPK file. But is there any way that, from PPK to PEM it converts?
Not possible.
So it's straightforward again.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, same question. Thank you.
Yes, Venkat. Venkat, you have raised your hand. Yes, Salva.
Yeah, Ankit, like we have seen now in practical, like in actual day-to-day work also, it would be like whenever we are creating a machine, virtual machine. So every time we have to try connecting that and we have to verify whether it is created. We have to verify it or how it would be.
I didn't understand your question, what you're trying to say. Elaborate your question.
Yeah, what I'm asking, so when we work practically for any organization, that time we would be creating any virtual machine in the same way, right?
Correct. The process is always same.
Yeah. So after creating, every time we have to check like this. We have to connect to that particular machine, virtual machine, and we have to verify it or how it would be.
It depends on you. You want to verify it's showing you as running, it means your machine is working fine.
Because why I am
Verify.
asking, if in cases like bulk number of machines, if we are creating, so that time it would be like long process to check. Is it necessary like that time? Just I'm checking with.
No, not matter. If you are getting running and here in the status check, you are getting 2x2 check passed, it means your work machine is working fine. What is this status check? We'll learn in upcoming session. Just here for your question. If you are getting 2x2 check pass, it means machine is working fine.
Okay, so
Okay. If you are getting some other check pass, status check here, that might be your machine is not working.
okay, so if these two are passed, then it is not mandatory to connect and check any machine.
No, no.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Krishna.
Yeah, what about the IP addresses of the servers? Can we
We are
see that?
getting two IP addresses. One is public, one is private. Here is a public IP. Here we are getting the private IP.
So when we create multiple servers, so all will have different, isn't it?
Different IP address will get, all public or private. Both are different. No one will get the same IP.
Okay, but name will be same, isn't it?
The EC2 machine name will be the same because we are giving that name. The IP address definitely it will be different.
Okay.
Okay, because if everyone is getting the same IP address, we are not able to connect to machines. It's not possible. Machines will get the different public IP. Okay.
Okay.
I
So
have a
name will
question
be
for
same.
you. Yes, I have a question for you. The
Yeah.
public IP address which we are getting here, is it a static IP or a dynamic IP? What do you think? Okay, I know that you don't know. So what do you think? Do you know what is static IP or dynamic IP?
Which won't change. Dynamic, which will change randomly, which will provide.
Okay, so this
So
is
this
public. This public IP static or dynamic?
It will be static. It
No.
must be.
No. We have two types of IP address, guys. One is called static. Static is also called as elastic IP. Other one is called as dynamic IP. Whenever we are creating our EC2 machine, by default, we are getting the public IP I'm talking about. I'm not talking about private IP. Public IP is a dynamic IP, but it means if I reboot this machine or if I restart this machine, n number of time, every time IP address will get changed. The public IP, not the private IP, because private IP is static, or you can call it elastic IP. So if we reboot this machine, private IP will not get changed, but public IP address will get changed. So in real time, are we using dynamic IPs? No. In real time, we are using static IPs. So even if we reboot our machine, system will not change our IP address. Even if I restart our machine after 10 days or even after 100 years, IP address will not get changed for our. Clear, Krishna?
Yeah, thank you, Ankit.
Yes, Venkat.
Hello.
Yes, Venkat.
Hi, Ankit. Thanks for the opportunity. Ankit, I have real-time some doubts regarding this PPK file. Whenever daily activity I'm connecting to EC2 machine, along with the PPK file, they have given the passphrase.
They have given the
passphrase. Means whenever we are clicking on the PPK file, it will give a pop-up window. On this one, we will give that passphrase. Then only PPK file will work.
Okay. I'm not aware of that particular thing.
Okay.
Any more questions?
No.
Okay. Yes, Varun.
Hi, Ankit.
Hi, Varun.
Exactly. By default option is RDP or SSH both are enabled by default, or otherwise RDP is default and SSH need to be enabled?
It's by whenever we are creating Windows machine, by default they enable RDP port. Whenever we are creating Linux machine, they are by default enabling SSH port. We are not doing anything manually there, it's by default. But yes, still if you want to do manually, we can do that also. But we don't need to do because it's already done by the AWS.
Okay. If Windows machine enable create a Windows machine, then need to be enable SSH port. Our side.
Windows machine, we need to enable RDP port, not SSH.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, for Windows RDP port is required. For Linux machine, SSH port is required.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to see one more option in right now. When I click on select this machine and when I click on connect, we have one option called SSH. We have seen this option, but we have a one more option called EC2 instance connect. Now I'm going to show you that particular option. So go to that particular tab for EC2 instance connect. And here it is showing us public IP. Copy the public IP. Open putty. After opening of the putty, in the host name, it is asking for our IP address. So we are entering our IP address. Attach PPK, SSH, auth, credentials. Here I'm getting the people. Open. Accept. Now you can see here. It is asking for username. In previous example, it automatically get connected because the host name which we are using it, in that our username is already mentioned. But this time I have just placed only the public IP. So we need to enter our username manually. And what is our username? Whenever we are going to create Amazon Linux machine, by default, our username is EC2-user. And whenever we are creating Windows machine, our by default username is administrator. When I enter my past username, we are able to connect to our. This is how we are connecting our machine with another page. So after our practice, do we need this machine? No, I don't need this machine. So what we can do? We can terminate this machine. How we can terminate this machine? Select this machine. Go to instance state. Here we have a terminate. Terminate means I'm going to delete this machine. I don't require this machine. So we can terminate this machine. So I'm not doing right now. We'll do it later. Let's have quick more questions. And then we'll move forward with our next step. And yes, one more important thing. Yes, it is possible how we can assign a static IP to our EC2 machine also. It's a very important thing we'll learn in our upcoming session. How to assign EC2 machine static IPs. So we'll learn that. It's a very important thing because in real time, we are not using the dynamic IPs. We are using static IPs. Yes, Selva.
Hi, Ankit. Yeah, my question might be very basic. Yeah, what I want to ask is why we have here two IP address. One is public and private. I'm not aware much about this because when we check in our system and all, I think we have only one IP address, but we have here public and private.
Correct. We have two public and private. Public means I can connect to this machine publicly. Okay. Means from anywhere or from whatever the public machines I can connect. Private IP means whenever I want to connect from one EC2 machine to another EC2 machine, that time private IP is given.
Oh, okay. So can I take like this? Whenever I want to connect this virtual machine from a physical machine, that time I have to use public. And whenever I want to connect between two virtual machines, that time I have to use private IP address. Is this correct?
Correct. You can say like this.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And one more thing is, you told already we can create multiple machines with same configuration at a single go. if we just by increasing the instance number, either 10 or
Correct.
100. But post creating that, only we can change the name. Means we can edit the name manually.
No,
Yeah.
after creation of the machines, you can change the name, or you want to, let's say example, for that specific machine, you want to increase CPU and RAM, we can do that also, but that is a manual process.
Okay, after creating, we can edit.
After creation, we can edit that particular machine. For that particular machine, let's say right now I have given 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM, but in upcoming days, let's say my requirement is more. So for that particular, not mandatory to do all. For specific machine also, I can do that.
Okay. Okay. Even though all machines are having same but instance ID would be same, right? For all those.
No, instance ID will be different because all are in different instance. Instance ID will be different for all instance.
Okay, so even though if we create in single go, everything would be different only. Name.
Yes,
name
will always same.
Okay.
But if I'm talking about this RAM CPU right now, all are same for all.
Okay.
But if I want, while
yeah.
creating it, because the configuration details which I have given, it's same for all. But after that, whenever I want to increase the CPU, RAM, or hard disk for the specific machine, I can do that.
Okay. So.
Okay.
Okay. So immediately also we can change it. Anyways, instance ID would be different. So just
Yes.
configuration, if you want, we can edit it. Even though name also we can edit it. No problem.
Yes, correct.
So that
and
would
how
be...
to increase CPU, RAM, hard disk, we'll learn in upcoming session.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Anyone have any more questions? Or we can continue with next topic. Okay. Tell you one more thing. While practice, if you get any error message from these two, if you get timeout error, or if you get this error, no supported authentication method error, if you get, I have already given the solution also. So if you face any issue regarding these two error message, please check PDF number 4, page number 7. The link is already given. If you email me, I'm going to give you the same reply. So make sure if you face any error message from these two, you are going to check your error, this PPT also. Okay. Any question anyone have? Yes, Venkat. Balaji. Balaji, you can unmute. Venkata.
Hello. Yeah, Ankit.
Yes, Venkata.
Yeah, Ankit, how we can store the PPK file permanently inputting?
How we can
store the PPK file inputting? Every time they're calling that. No?
I don't have any information how we can store that. It's possible, but I don't know. I know that's possible, but I don't have information. I'll check, and if I get information, I'll share within the upcoming session.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Venkata.
Ankit, this is my continuation to my previous question. So at that time, right, that time we are creating that 10 or 20 instances. At that time, automatically it generate dynamic public and elastic IP for private, right? For all the 10 hosts, different IPs, right?
Yes, all machines will get the different IP address.
At the same time. Okay.
Correct.
So only we need to do the effort, manual effort is changing the instance name. That's all. Okay.
Name, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Pratap.
So in general, in real time, we use, when we connect to this instance, we use username and password, right? Here we are using the PPK
We
file.
don't have any option of username and passwords here for our root machines.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Nikki.
Good morning, Ankit. Please, my question is about the email I sent you. I'm in
when you have
batch.
emailed me?
I think few days ago.
Okay, I don't remember right now because I'm getting a lot of emails. Yes, you
No,
can ask
that's
your
okay.
question.
Okay. I'm in 105 batch. The link I have from this class, I think today is gonna be my last day. So I had wanted to know the link that I can use to log in to 109 from tomorrow.
Yeah, from now tomorrow's session, the link is same. After tomorrow's session, the link is going to be changed. The link is only going to share with our paid candidates after today's session. Sorry, after tomorrow's session. Okay.
I paid for 105. I paid for
the-
105. That's fine.
I told me already. I remember it. So what you can do is you can drop an email to our support email ID. Okay, with your payment screenshot. So whatever the details they require from you, they'll get that. And whenever I'm going to change the link after tomorrow's session, they'll email you. Okay. This thing only needs to be done by those candidates, those who wants to shift from my previous batch to this batch. But yes, you can attend this batch, but you will not get the recording of this batch because you have paid for a previous batch.
Yeah, I joined the 105 late, so I have the
Yes, you can
recordings
join
from
this
that
batch, but you will not get the recording of current batch. You can attend this batch.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, coming to our next topic. So let me do one thing. Let me terminate this machine because I don't require right now. Next thing I'm going to show you is we can directly generate a PPK file by using our AWS account also. It is also possible. Right now we have generated a PPK file with the help of tool called PuttyGen. But directly we can generate PPK file by using our AWS account. So then why we require PuttyGen? The reason is the example which I'm going to show you right now. This is just for a knowledge purpose. This is just for an interview purpose. Because in real time, we are not using this option which I'm going to show you right. We can generate the PPK file by using PuttyGen or by using directly from our AWS account also. Why we are not using this option in real time? The reason is because in our real time, in some cases, we need PEM. We need PEM file. The same question asked by some other student also few minutes back. I have tell the same thing in real time. In some cases, we need PEM file. So the option which I am going to show you right now, just for an interview purpose and for your knowledge purpose. Directly generate a PPK file by using AWS. So how we can do that? Go to network and security. Scroll down. That I'm here. We can create our security. We can create our PPK or PEM file before creation of our EC2 machine. We can do that also. And then click on keywords. See, here I'm getting all the key pair. Total 86 key pair I have generated. Till now. Click on create new key. Give the name of my key. This is the name. What does it type? By default, they have set a type called PPK, and you can see here for use with. So PPK is only used for a tool called Putty. It is also mentioned in our AWS account. Click on create. Here I am now. So we have created our key pair. Let's just search. Here. Now I'm going to create a Linux EC2 machine using this PPK file. We already know how to create EC2 machine. Go to launch instance. This is the name I'm giving to my machine. Scroll down, going for Amazon Linux, EC2 micro, keep here. Here I'm Linux 10-PPK, the Windows one which we have created. Scroll. Now, do I need to every time create a new security group? No. I can use existing security group also. I don't need to every time create a security group. If in my security group, I need to enable the same ports. So why should I create a new one? Better to use the same existing one also. Scroll down. How much storage we are getting it? That is default we are getting whenever we are creating our Linux. So we are able to create our machine, and we already know whenever we are selecting Amazon Linux, by default our username is EC2-. The last step is we need to connect to one. And do I need to every time go to connect option? No. We already know the default username, so I can directly note down the public IP from here also. So I'm just going to note down the public IP. Double click on putty, paste the public IP, and attach a PPK. Which PPK? The PPK directly we have generated from our AWS account. Open, accept, entering my username EC2-. Here I'm able to connect to our. The option which I have shown you right now, how we can directly generate a PPK file by using our AWS account. This option is just only for your knowledge. Might be they can ask the same thing in the interview also. But yes, in our upcoming session or in real time, we are not using this. The reason is because in some cases we need PEM file also. In which cases you will see when we are going to learn in our upcoming. So this is what we have all about how we can generate a PPK file by using our AWS. Any question anyone have, you can please raise your hand. Yes, Srinivas.
Yeah, Ankit, this is Srinivas. So
yes.
I'm audible?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, Srinivas.
Yeah, Ankit, you just now you said, right? While creating the Linux machine, we have created a PPK file, correct?
Correct.
For the same Linux machine, PEM file is required, not right?
Correct.
Okay, PEM file is for Windows.
PEM file is for Linux also. PEM file is for Linux also. That's what I'm telling you in our upcoming session. We need PEM file also.
Okay. So when we connect to the instance, right, the PPK file is mandatory. For that too, when we log into the administrator with the credential of username
If you
of the
want,
administrator.
PPK file, Srinivas, is only for a tool called Putty. No, not any other tool required PPK file. Okay. Srinivas, are you able to hear me? Srinivas, are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
PPK file is required whenever you. Okay, repeat your question.
Yeah, my question was PPK file. Any other user trying to log into the system, every user require that PPK file, or it is only for administrator?
Now your question is different. Earlier question was different. Now question is different. Now you're asking that root user wants to connect to with PEM file, but we didn't learn about how we can create our other user, Srinivas. So regarding your question, definitely I'll give you the answer, but you have to wait for your question. When we are going to learn about EC2 users, when we reach the PPT number 10, that time it will be good if you ask that question at that. But yes, I tell you that answer. If you're creating other users, then we can create with our PEM file also or with password also at that time. But root user can only connect with PEM file. It is not possible. You can go with any password option. Okay. But when we are creating our users under our Linux machine, for them, we can use PEM or we can use password, any one option. But in real time, majorly we are using PEM file option.
Yeah, one more question. So
yes,
we created an instance with the PEM file or PAK file. The file was not there, like something we did mistake and it was deleted. Can we generate one more and we can attach that?
We'll learn that particular thing when we'll reach to a PPT number 29. You're asking when if we lost our key.
Yeah.
The question is, if we lost our key, how we can recover it? We'll learn that when we'll come to a PPT number 29.
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone have any more questions? Okay. Guys, after tomorrow's session, we are going to change the link. So if anyone is interested to continue with this training, you can log into our website and you can go to store, and here we have a batch called 109. You can make the payment for that. If you are making the payment, then you will get the link for upcoming session. Otherwise, you are not able to attend this training if you are not going to make the. After tomorrow's session, we are going to change the link. So please complete your payment formalities. And the PPTs can only access by the paid candidates. And PPTs are already in our website, the website which we have created. Here we have uploaded our PDFs, whichever we have used. And whatever we are going to use, we will upload here. Today recording you will get. From tomorrow's session, no recordings will send to the group, only share with paid candidates from tomorrow. And day after tomorrow, only paid candidates can attend the training, no other can attend this. This is from my side for the today's session, but still if anyone have any question, you can raise your hand. Or we can end our session. And what we are going to discuss in tomorrow's session is we are going to discuss about how we can transfer our local files to our Windows server, to our Linux server, and then we'll go with the topic called web service. Anyone have any question? Yes, Fasa.
Sorry, Ankit, could be a silly question again.
No
so as other fellow asked, like so when we download PPK and it later in some time we need a PEM file for the same instance, can we create the same again under that particular
time? Not possible. Sure, that it is not possible. Like earlier also I asked the same question. Yeah. Not possible. We can generate from PPK to PEM. Not possible. PEM to PPK is possible only. PPK to PEM is not possible. There is
okay,
no
even from AWS console also we cannot generate a file, is it? I mean,
no, that will be a new PEM file also.
No, see, maybe I'm wrong. I'm just putting my question other way around. Let's say today for the first instance, I've I know that we use only putty, so I have downloaded PPK file. Later in sometime I want for the same instance I want to generate PEM file. Will it be possible to
That's your question is generating a PPK to PEM. So those things are not possible, but we are generating a PEM file that will be a new PEM file, but that PEM file is not linked with your Windows machine, that particular EC2 machine is not linked with that.
Oh, that will not be linked.
No, even if you generate a new key also.
Okay, so so we should make sure that we should always generate PEM
that's
file.
why I told you in real time we are always using PEM files, not PP directly. We are not generating PPK.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Anand. Anand Krishna, you have raised your hand. Yes, Nagarani, you can unmute.
Yeah, Ankit, in real time, if we are using only one PEM file, or we can create more PEM files, or what?
Can you repeat your question again?
In real time, we can use only one PEM file, or we can create multiple PEM files, and for each instance we can use.
So for each instance, we can use only one PEM file.
Oh yeah,
For
that's
one user. Okay, for one user, you can create multiple PEM files also, but for that you need multiple users.
Okay.
Yeah. So in our upcoming session, we'll learn about how we can create more users. Whenever we are creating more users, for each user you can assign it. But for root user, but for that particular user, there will be only a one PEM file.
Okay. I mean, you mean this? If I created Linux 109 EC2 instance, so I am the root user for this, right?
Correct.
Okay. In this root user, we can create multiple users. So for those users,
we can create different PEM also for.
Okay. PEM. Okay. I understand.
Okay, so with this, I'm ending this session. In tomorrow's session, we are going to Okay, someone has more questions. Yes, Anand. Anand, you have raised your hand second time when you are not unmuting yourself.
Oh, sorry. You can hear me
yes,
now?
Anand. Yes, Anand.
Yeah, just for basic question again. The PEM file, any validation is there or like permanent?
There is no validation for PEM file.
For example, this while generating PEM, it's integrated with password, right? So any validation of this password
No,
permanent?
we don't need to do any validation. So we don't have any validations for this.
Okay. Again, is it any option is there this PEM file we can modify our own passwords? This is decrypted, right?
No, there is no option.
Okay.
Okay, thank you guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much for today's session. See you tomorrow. Thank you guys.